Okay, good evening lads and welcome back to another video. AFC Joe here. Now in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Premier League table for the 2020-21 season. Yes, that is right, the Premier League is back tomorrow when Arsenal take on Fulham at Craven Cottage. Make sure to comment your thoughts down below, and obviously just don't take my opinions too seriously. My opinions mean absolutely nothing, and it doesn't mean that they will happen if I say something. But anyway people, let's get into the video. Make sure to smash a like, subscribe down below and follow my Twitter, link in the description. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Hope you enjoy. 20th West Brom. Now finishing bottom is going to be West Brom this season. They obviously got second place in the Championship after 2 years out of the Premier League. I just don't think they've made enough additions for them to survive this season. They haven't got many Premier League proven players in their squad, and that's why they're going to finish bottom. If they are going to beat the drop this season, Matheus Pereira is going to have to be in superb form for them this season, and he's never played in the Premier League, so that is going to be a challenge for West Brom. 19th, Crystal Palace. Whilst Palace have looked like a stable Premier League club over the past few years, I think their time is up. Whilst Eze and Nathan Ferguson are good signings, they have no Premier League experience. Wilfried Zaha also wants to leave, so that's not a good thing for Palace. Other than Zaha and Eze, I don't really think there's any players that really excite anyone, and that's the reason I think they're going to go down this season. 18th, Fulham. Whilst I think Fulham have a decent team and they've made two very good signings in Robinson and Areola, I'm still sceptical of whether they can beat the drop. Their team now is a lot better than it was 2 years ago, but last season in the Championship they were outscored by quite a lot of teams. That always seems to be an issue for newly promoted teams, and I think Fulham will just go down. 17th, Aston Villa. This season I think Villa will finish the same as they did last season. Similarly to Crystal Palace, their signings are only proven in the Championship, but the difference I think between Fulham and Villa will be that most of the Villa squad have had a year in the Premier League under their belt, and that they have the experience of handling the crunch matches towards the end of the season, I think that is just going to keep Villa up. 16th, Brighton. This season I think Brighton will be a Premier League club for another year. I think they have a very good mix of experience and younger players in their squad, and with Joel Veltman coming from Ajax and Ben White coming back from Leeds, I think they have brilliant options in defence, and they also have a couple of exciting attacking players, and that is why I think Brighton will stay in the league this season. 15th, West Ham. This might surprise quite a few people, seeing as West Ham have quite a strong side on paper, but they've only signed Soucek, and whilst they're trying to get Tarkowski from Burnley, who I think would be a superb signing, I just don't think they'll get him because of the high price tag. Maybe they could if they sold Declan Rice, but David Moyes said that West Ham are unlikely to pay the asking price for Tarkowski, and most of West Ham's squad were part of the team that really struggled last season. 14th, Leeds United. Leeds won the Championship last season, and I think that they have a top manager in Bielsa taking them to the Premier League this season. This season I think Leeds need to aim for a stable finish, just as it's something to build on in the future. They play good football, as we've seen at the Emirates. Obviously they played us in the FA Cup and we won 1-0, but Leeds were superb, especially in the first half. And they've made a couple of decent signings, but I'm not sure that their squad has the ability to compete with the teams that I have put higher up in this list. 13th, Southampton. Southampton were in very good form towards the end of last season, and I think that this season they'll comfortably finish mid-table. They signed Mohamed Salisu as well as getting Kyle Walker-Peters from Spurs, and I think that Salisu is a very good bit of business from Southampton, a young player who was statistically one of the best defenders in La Liga last season, and if Danny Ings keeps firing, Southampton will have a decent season. 12th, Burnley. Whilst Burnley don't have an exciting squad, they are a very spirited bunch. Sean Dyche has been the manager for a long time now, so there's a lot of stability on that front. Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes are a very good strike partnership, and they both pop up with important goals, and they have a very good core in their team, and that's why they're a stable Premier League club, and they will do for another year. 11th, Sheffield United. Sheffield United were absolutely superb last season, and most of their squad from last season are still at the club. Their transfer business has been absolutely superb after signing Ramsdale, Lowe and Bogle, and then getting Ethan Ampadu on loan from Chelsea. Like Burnley, Sheffield United are a very spirited team with a superb manager in Chris Wilder, and I think they can remain a Premier League club for many more years to come. 10th, Newcastle United. This season I think Newcastle will have a very decent season. Jamal Lewis and Callum Wilson are good signings, and on his day Ryan Fraser is a superb creator. They could have Soumare coming in as well, which would be an amazing signing for them. They've got a solid Premier League team, and that's why I think they'll improve on a 13th place finish from last season. 9th, Wolves. This might be a surprise for some people, seeing as Wolves have had 2 strong seasons in the Premier League now, but they haven't replaced Matt Doherty, who was very key to Wolves' success in the past few years. Wolves are a good team, but I just don't think they're as good as some of the other teams that I've put above them on this list. 8th, Leicester City. Leicester, of course, narrowly missed out on Champions League football last season, and I think that missing Champions League out will hurt them a lot coming into the new season. Castana's a very good signing, but I don't think they'll be able to do what they did at times last season, and Ben Chilwell will be a very big miss for them, and that's why I'm putting them in 8th place. 7th, Everton. This season I think Everton will be much better than they have been in the past 2 years. Both Allen and James Rodriguez are experienced continental players from massive clubs in Europe, and signing Decore will provide them a very good physical presence in midfield. Everton are a very ambitious club, and they have a manager who's proven at the highest level, and I think that they will get European football this season. 6th, Tottenham. Tottenham have done some good business this summer, and even as an Arsenal fan that's difficult to deny. Both Højbjerg and Doherty are very good players with Premier League experience, and Spurs have managed to get them both for a very affordable price. Unfortunately for Spurs, they haven't been able to shift some of their average players in their squad, and I also think they'll shift their main focus onto winning a trophy like the Europa League or the FA Cup, which Mourinho is very good at, and I'm not going to write them off doing that because Mourinho has proven to have done it in the past, and yeah. 5th, Arsenal. I'm putting my own team in 5th place just because I don't think we're better than Chelsea or Man United. I think we're building a very promising project, and I think we can be successful if Arteta is back properly. We're trying to get Aouar and Partey, who would both be very good signings, but I think that we'll have to sell quite a lot of players to afford them both. We might get one of them, but I think it's unlikely that we'll get both of them, and that's why I don't think we'll get top 4 this season. I think if we are, we're going to have to rely on the teams above us to slip up. 4th, Man United. Man United came 3rd last season, and they were superb in the second half of the season, but they did get knocked out in the Europa League semi-final, which will probably have hurt their players quite a bit. Bruno Fernandes was on top form last season, and I think that United have themselves a superb chance creator. They've signed Van der Beek from Ajax, who has a lot of potential, and I think that they'll have a very exciting squad for this season, and with many good players, and I think they'll comfortably finish in the Champions League spots this season. 3rd, Chelsea. We all know that Chelsea have spent big money this summer and have got themselves a good mix of young talent and experience. Some people have labelled Chelsea as title contenders, but I still think they need a new goalkeeper, and most of their signings haven't played in the Premier League before, so it will take a bit of time to adapt and for them to gel. But with all that being said, I think they will have a strong season, and maybe in a couple of years' time they can challenge for the title. But right now this season, I'm not sure. 2nd, Liverpool. Liverpool very comfortably won the title last season, and I'm sure they'll be eager to retain their crown. They have a very strong team, and they work well as a unit, and they have a top manager in Jurgen Klopp. However, I don't think they'll win the league just because it's extremely difficult to retain the title, as teams will raise their game when they play you. And I think that Liverpool should need to improve their squad depth if they want to win the league again this season. And winning the league this season will be Manchester City. I think last season City were very unlucky with injuries. Of course, Laporte, who's a very key player for them, had a lot of injuries, and they also slipped up in quite a few winnable games. Pep Guardiola is a manager who knows how to win, and I'm sure he'll be eager to win the league this season after an unsuccessful season. Nathan Ake is a great signing, improving their depth in defence, and Ferran Torres is a very good young player with the potential to be a world-class player. They might get Kalidou Koulibaly as well from Napoli. I don't know, there's obviously some interest there. But I think Man City have very good depth in most positions, and that's why I think they'll win the league this season. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to smash a like down below, of course, and stay tuned for more content coming your way. And I'm going to be out, lads. Have a good one.